What's up, Bramley? Welcome to the second ever installment of Bleacher Beat. I'm your host, as always, Brandon Cruz. Tonight, I'll take a look at what exactly went wrong in CSU football's opening season loss to South Dakota State. Plus, Rams volleyball earned its first win of the season on Saturday. Find out how they got it done. All that and more on this week's Bleacher Beat, starting right now. Let's kick things off with some CSU football. Coming into Friday's matchup, it had been 646 days since Canvas Stadium hosted fans, and boy was it missed. With a packed student section highlighting a crowd of over 32,000 in what was one of the biggest turnouts in Canvas Stadium's young history, the atmosphere was rocking, pregame through a rainstorm and lightning delay. Then the game happened, where the Rams were blown out by the Jackrabbits, 42-23. After both teams exchanged touchdowns to begin the festivities, South Dakota State ended the first half with a comfortable 21-10 lead. And though CSU fans still held on to some hope, their optimistic outlook didn't last long, with the visitors tacking on 2 more TDs in the third to pull away. CSU would eventually score a couple of meaningless fourth quarter touchdowns to pad some stats, but in the end, it was far too little too late, leading to a disappointing 0-1 start to the season for the Rams. So, what in the world happened? Why was CSU so outmatched by an FCS school? Well, the first answer lies on the defensive side, specifically that front seven. The Rams had the 12th best rushing defense in all of college football a season ago, allowing just 109 rushing yards per game. But in this one, CSU got run all over, with the Jackrabbits recording 242 rushing yards, more than twice of what CSU gave up per game last year. Pierre Strong Jr. led the way with over 130 yards on 13 carries. And sophomore Isaiah Davis wasn't too far behind, going for 84 yards on just 15 attempts. And South Dakota State's ability to open up holes for its backs was far from the same on the other side of the field. CSU could not run the ball at all, with South Dakota State able to pound the inside of CSU's O-line and shut down the Rams' running game, holding starting back David Bailey to just 49 yards on 19 carries. The Rams lost badly up front, and it showed on the scoreboard. And of course, how could I forget about that wide open overthrow by Centeio in the first quarter? Now, granted, completing that pass would have not guaranteed a Rams victory. Well, far from it. But it was still a missed opportunity that stuffed any sort of momentum towards the home team. That, along with 2 third-down and long conversions from the Jackrabbits, were certainly notable what-ifs from the night. But let's move past the negativity for a sec. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the 2 bright spots for CSU. First of all, they have one of the best punters in the nation. Ryan Stonehouse booted for 4 times for a remarkable average of 55 yards per punt. That's 2 football fields worth of punts. And tight end Trey McBride hauled in 13 catches for a total of 116 yards. Another super impressive stat line. So even with all the lows, Ram fans still had a few things to look forward to when they host Vanderbilt this upcoming Saturday at 8. And speaking of positives, Rams volleyball picked up their first W of the year, defeating North Carolina State this past weekend. After losing the first 2 games of the road trip against Northern Colorado and North Carolina, CSU finished things off strong, taking the win in Raleigh against NC State, 3-1. Kennedy Stanford led the Rams with 16 kills, while both Sasha Colombo and Karina Labor chalked up 3 blocks. The Rams will return home on Friday for a doubleheader at Moby, first against Southern Illinois Edwardsville at noon, and then Oregon State at 7. And CSU volleyball was not the only women's sport in action this past week. Rams soccer concluded their week at home against Kansas State, but came up short, being shut out by the Wildcats while also surrendering 4 goals. This one saw K-State in control early, with 3 first-half scores. After halftime, though, CSU was able to make things a bit more interesting, putting pressure on the Wildcats' defense with 7 shots of their own. Unfortunately for the Rams, none of them hit the back of the net, resulting in K-State cruising rather easily to a 4-0 win. Still looking for their first win of the season, soccer will get another crack at it on Sunday, hosting Idaho State at noon. Well, Ram fans, that's all the sports action I have for you tonight, but don't go away just yet. Noah Pasley is up next to give you updated on all the spice in entertainment.